Good morning, dear students. Myself, Dr. Lingaraju, Assistant Professor, Government First Aid Degree College, Tumkur. So, our college is affiliated to Tumkur University. Okay, today we will discuss the chapter of polarization of light. The polarization of light comes in BSc Physics syllabus for semester. In this syllabus, so today we will discuss 43rd session, that is Fresnel's theory of optical activity. So last class we discussed Fresnel's theory, polarimeter, diffraction, polarizations, so all these things. Based on that concepts, polarization concept, so we have discussed the one topic, that is a Fresnel's theory of optical activity. So here around Fresnel is explained a phenomenon of optical activity. Optical activity means, so here the material, it means it is a solution. The solution having some mixtures, it shows a optical transparent in a particular angle. It is in a different angle, shows a different nature. So that concepts here we are going to study using a Fresnel's theory of optical activity. So Fresnel, he explained successfully the phenomena of optical activity of some solutions. So what is that one? We will discuss through a diffractions. Optical activity is based on the fact that when plane polarized, light is allowed to pass through a crystal along a optic axis. You see, we having a unpolarized light. Okay, so this unpolarized light we have first passed through a Nicol prism. Then here we are getting a plane polarized light. This plane polarized light we have to allow to pass through a crystal, calcite, diamond, so any different kind of crystals along the optic axis. It splits up into two circularly polarized vibrations. So last class we discussed plane, circular, elliptical, how they are going to produce, on what basis, what is the principle, all these things already we discussed. So here the splits after entering to the crystal, here the light radiations will be going to splits up into two circularly polarized vibrations rotating in opposite directions with the same frequency and each with an amplitude of that of the incident light. That is the important point. So how much the light radiation before inciding having a amplitude, that half of the amount after splits from the crystals, that is half amplitude that of the incident light. After that, the velocities of the component waves are the same. Two splitting of radiations having the same amplitude, same opposite directions with the same frequency, the velocity is also a same in an optically inactive crystal, whereas the velocities are different in an optically active crystals. ಏನಾದರೂ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟೀಸ್ ಕಾಂಪೊನೆಂಟು ಸೇಮ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ ಆವಾಗ ಅವನ್ನ ಆಪ್ಟಿಕಲಿ ಇನ್ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇಫ್ ದ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಪ್ಟಿಕಲಿ ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಕ್ರಿಸ್ಟಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಇಟ್. ನೌ ಹಿಯರ್ calcite crystals is not optical active crystal. The two compartments circularly polarized vibrations move forward with the same velocities and therefore have a phase of pi by 2. That means 90. Opposite half angle of the radiations. So like that, the radiation one is going this side, one is going this side. So the two components circularly polarized vibrations move forward with the same velocities and therefore having phase of pi by 2. So then the component of the circular polarized vector rotating to the left are anti-clockwise and are the component rotating to the right, that is clockwise. The resultant vibrations, here the diagram we can observe The resultant vibrations of this one the resultant vibrations of these two components vector will be along OA. Therefore, the planar vibrations of the resultant emergent light is not rotated in the calcite crystals. Quartz crystals are optically active. The two components circularly polarized vibrations move forward with slightly different velocities and therefore have a definite phase difference between them. See, two components circularly polarized vibrations move forward release ಆಗಿರವು calcite crystal ಇಂದ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬಂದಿರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ, so that means these two components circularly polarized vibrations move forward with slightly different velocities and therefore have a definite phase difference between them. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ velocity difference ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ they are having a different phase difference. Definitely phase difference have it. In the case of a right-handed quartz crystal, the velocity of clockwise rotation, that is OR, is more than the anti-clockwise rotations. In the case of a right-handed quartz crystal, the velocity of a clockwise rotation is more than that of the anti-clockwise rotation, that is OL. It is exactly opposite for the left-handed quartz crystals. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ opposite ಆಗಿ left-handed quartz crystal it's going to show the results. What is that one? We will discuss. Consider a dextro-rotatory quartz crystal. Dextro. So multi times. Dextro-rotatory quartz crystal. The resultant of the clockwise rotation and anti-clockwise rotations will be along OA. The incident plane polarized vibrations will be along AB. Therefore, the planar vibration of light will be rotated through an angle of pi by 2. On passing through the crystals, the angle of rotation of planar vibration depends on the thickness of the crystals. That one is the construction and working process. Next, optically inactive crystals, analytical treatment, how it is going to take it. According to Fresnel's theory, circularly polarized light is the resultant of two rectangular simple harmonic vibrations. According to Fresnel's theory, circularly polarized light is the resultant of two rectangular simple harmonic vibrations in an optically inactive crystal like crystals. ಈಗ optically inactive crystals ಆದರೆ ಅವಾಗ analytical treatment how we have it. The clockwise vibrations are given by vibrations ಯಾವ ತರ ಆಗ್ತವೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ so x1 is equal to a cos omega t, y1 is equal to a sin omega t. In the anti-clockwise vibrations, x2 is equal to opposite directions minus a cos of omega t and y2 is equal to a sin omega t, where a is the amplitude of a component waves with an initial phase of omega t. The resultant vibrations along x-axis is given by clockwise and anti-clockwise, that is x is equal to x1 plus x2, that is equal to a cos omega t minus a cos omega t, that is equal to a 0. After that, in the y-axis, y is equal to resultant of vibration along y-axis is y is equal to y1 plus y2, that is equal to a sin omega t plus a sin omega t. So that is equal to 2a sin omega t. Therefore, the resultant vibrations is along the original direction. And is plane polarized It has an amplitude of 2a, which is twice that of a component waves. Therefore, you see, you will do the resultant vibrations of along a original directions and is plane polarized. It has the amplitude of 2a, which is twice that of the component waves. Knowing that optically active ಯಾವ ತರ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ in a dextro-rotatory optically active crystal like quartz, optically active crystal like quartz, the clockwise vibrations travel faster than the anti-clockwise vibrations. In a dextro-rotatory optically active crystal like quartz, the clockwise vibrations travel faster than the anti-clockwise vibrations. Clockwise vibrations starts from R and anti-clockwise vibrations from L with a phase difference of phi between them. So that is the way optically active here. In the mathematically, the clockwise vibrations is given by x1 is equal to a cos of omega t minus phi and y1 is equal to a sin of omega t minus phi. Phi is the negative since it is measured in clockwise directions. Phi na ನಾವು negative ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ it is a clockwise directions. In anti-clockwise direction, in anti-clockwise vibrations, so x2 is equal to minus of a cos omega t. Negative sign only indicate the value. Y2 is equal to a sin omega t, whereas a is the amplitude of the component waves. So, ಈಗ resultant of these two along x-axis and also in the along y-axis. Along x-axis, x is equal to x1 plus x2. So that is equal to a cos omega t minus phi minus of a cos omega t. So that is equal to minus 2a sin of phi by 2 sin of omega t minus phi by 2. So equation number 1. Next we come to the resultant vibrations along y-axis. Y is equal to y1 plus y2, two directions. y1 plus a sin omega t minus phi minus of a sin omega t, that is equal to 2a cos of phi by 2 sin of omega t minus phi by 2. Say equation number 2. The resultant vibrations x and y are perpendicular to one another. The resultant vibrations x and y are perpendicular to one another in the same phase. In the same phase. The resultant vibrations due to x and y axis, the plane polarized. So knowing this one, divide equation number 1 and 2, equation 1 and 2 by 2. So ಅದೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು x 1 ಏನಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ 1 ಏನಿದೆ x is equal to minus of 2a sin of phi by 2 sin of omega t minus phi by 2. 2 ಏನಿದೆ 2a cos of phi by 2 sin of omega t minus phi by 2. ಸೊ ಇವೆರಡೂ ನಾವು ಈಕ್ವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು a ಸೊ 1 by 2 ಅಲ್ವಾ, 1 by 2. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ sin by cos, so it becomes 2. Here we are getting a tan of phi by 2. The resultant emergent plane polarized light is inclined at an angle of phi by 2 to the original directions. ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತದೋ, the resultant emergent plane polarized light is inclined at an angle of phi by 2 to the original directions. Therefore, the plane of polarization has rotated through an angle of phi by 2. Through the crystal is dependent of the thickness of the crystals. So that's about the thing is here we are getting. Next is rotation and anti-clockwise and anti-clockwise ಅಲ್ಲಿ. So optically active and optically inactive concept we are already discussed. Next is calculation of the angle of rotations. You see, let NL, so refractive index of a L and left and right refractive index of the R with the refractive indices of the quartz crystals along the optic axis of the circularly polarized vibrations respectively, that is clockwise and anti-clockwise. Once again I read NL and NR. So the refractive index in the anti-clockwise directions the refractive index in the clockwise directions of a quartz crystal along the optic axis of the circularly plane polarized vibrations. If D is the thickness of the what crystals, here we are going to use it. D is the thickness of the crystal and lambda is the wavelength of incident light. D is the thickness of a crystal and lambda is the wavelength of incident light. Then the path difference and between the two vibrations are given by, if D is the thickness of the crystal and lambda is the wavelength of the incident light, then the path difference and between the two vibrations is given by delta is equal to refractive index of L is approximately equal to refractive index of R into D. So that means in the thickness of a crystal and wavelength of the thickness of the crystal ಮತ್ತು wavelength of the light a path difference ಮೇಲೆ given by ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ನ here we are going to expand. So continuation of that one, the phase difference that is equal to 2 pi by lambda into path difference. So phase difference phi is equal to 2 pi by lambda, path difference previous equations n L into nr of d. So phi by 2 adre pi lambda of nl minus nr of d. Say equation number 4. VL and VR are the velocities of the left hand and right handed circularly polar vibrations. NL is equal to C by VL. NR is equal to C by VR, where V is the velocity of the light. Then ಇವೆರಡನ್ನ equations ನಾವು ಈಗ in equation 3 ಅಲ್ಲಿ substitution ಮಾಡೋಣ, that is NL and NR. Then equation 3 becomes pi by T is equal to pi by lambda of C by VL, difference of C by VR of D. Next here we take the common of C. Pi C by lambda is equal to 1 by VL, difference of 1 by VR of D. But C is equal to F. C is equal to frequency. Lambda is equal to lambda by T. Lambda is equal to lambda by T. So 1 by T, this is not lambda by T, lambda is equal to 1 by T. Then T is equal to periodic time, that is C by lambda is equal to 1 by T. C by lambda is equal to 1 by T. Then 5 by 2 is equal to pi C by lambda. Pi C by lambda ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನ pi by T ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. Pi by T, C by lambda. So pi cancel ಆದ pi by T ಆಯ್ತು. Okay. Then 1 by VL, difference of 1 by VR of D. Say equation number 5. So in the case of left hand substance, VL is greater than VR, and therefore pi by 2 is equal to pi d by lambda of nr minus nm. So pi d by lambda pi d by t ಅಂತ ಬರ್ಕೋಬಹುದು of 1 by VR minus of 1 by VL. So knowing this one, in the case of a right-handed substances, VR is greater than VL. VR is greater than VL, and therefore next you see VR no VL ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು pi by t is equal to pi d by lambda of NL minus LR ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ R greater than ಆದ reciprocal of NL by NR ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Then pi by d is equal to 1 by VL minus of 1 by VR. So equation number 7, reciprocal of this equation. So in the case of optically inactive substances, VR is equal to VL. ಅವೆರಡು ಒಂದೇ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಆಪ್ಟಿಕಲಿ ಇನ್ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗ pi by 2 is equal to 0. Phase difference is equal to 0. So like that here we are going to calculate if it is in an optically inactive substance, so the content of the syllabus or the content of the substances becomes to 0. So that concept here we are taken from a Sundarajan prescribed textbook published in United Publishers in the name of college physics, and also one more another author Subramaniam sir. So from this book also I got the so much information through a Chand publications explained in the name of the textbook of optics, and also the remaining Mangala Gauri madam, Nagbhushan sir, Ramkrishna sir. So they are all written the book as like a Tumkur University syllabus. So I gone all these 3 books also, and also I gone through so many different websites. I got it, the relations also. So it's about the Fresnel's relations of a optically active substances. Thank you one and all.